A snapshot from Mars has rocked the scientific world, changing the way we think about the red planet.
Jezero Crater is a really cool place to go to look for evidence of past life.
The Mars rover has just found something that could change everything. Real signs that life might have existed on Mars. Scientists have searched endlessly, sending rovers and machines across Mars, hoping for a hint of life. What could this mean for the future of space exploration? Let us dive into this mind-blowing discovery that will reshape how we look at ourselves in the vast universe. A desert hiding its watery past. Let's take a step back, though. Why do we care so much about this dusty, barren wasteland of a planet? Maybe it's because Earth is so alive with its oceans, forests, and millions of species running around. The red planet, by comparison, looks like the post-apocalypse. All deserts, canyons, and depressing shades of red. But here's the thing. It wasn't always like that. Scientists have long believed that Mars might have had water, and if there was water, there might have been life, even just slimy little microbes. It's as if we're hoping this place could show us that life isn't as rare as we think. Before we delve into this, it's clear that Mars may hold even more secrets than anyone ever expected. And this discovery is only the beginning of what will truly shock us. Let's be real here. The idea that this planet might have once been a livable place gives us all kinds of implications to think about. If it had what it took for life to survive, maybe we can learn something to help us understand how Earth's ecosystem works too. Earth and its neighbor probably started off kind of similar, and it's downright eerie to wonder how Earth stayed beautiful and blue while the red planet turned into a deserted wasteland. There are some lessons to be learned there. Maybe. Fast forward to NASA's latest toy, the Perseverance Rover. Launched in July 2020 after a lot of hype, it finally landed in Jezero Crater in February 2021. Ready to do what it does best, search for life. This rover has all kinds of high-tech gear that previous rovers could only dream of, capable of examining rocks and soil up close. Like really up close. The mission? Sniff out signs of past life. The kind that would have barely made it onto a microscope slide back on Earth. Why Jezero Crater, though? Scientists figure this place might have had a massive lake and a river delta some 3.5 to 3.8 billion years ago. That's prime real estate for microbes if you ask any biologist. Basically, the kind of spot you'd expect to find life forming if the conditions were right. Rivers, lakes, mud. All that gunk is where you get microscopic critters preserved in sediment layers. The thinking goes, if there was life, this dried-up lake is where you'd probably find it. And wouldn't you know it? The first big breakthrough from Perseverance came when it detected organic molecules in those Martian rocks. These molecules are the building blocks of life on Earth, but they're kind of ambiguous. They could be signs of life, but they could also be from something totally non-living. It's like finding a half-buried footprint in the sand and thinking, okay, someone could have walked here, or it might just be a weird shape. Still, it's something. It's a sign this place had some interesting chemistry going on, and maybe it wasn't all just rock and dust. Here's where it gets a bit spicier. The organic molecules Perseverance found aren't just simple ones. They're a bit complex, suggesting something cool might have happened a long time ago. These molecules were in sedimentary rocks, which are great at trapping ancient stuff like fossils. Imagine a mud pit that dried up and fossilized. If there were any tiny critters in there, they'd be preserved. Same thing here. Maybe microbes once got trapped in these rocks, and now we're just starting to dig up their leftovers. And while just organic molecules don't scream life was here, there's certainly a solid clue, especially when paired with evidence of ancient water. There have been plenty of signs of water over the years. Old riverbeds, salty minerals, underground ice. Jezero Crater's old lake bed could have been like a little paradise for microbes. No big deal, just a possible oasis on an otherwise dry planet. Perseverance also found clay and sulfate salts, both of which form in water and love to trap organic stuff. On Earth, those places are a literal gold mine for microbial life. It's like everything here is hinting at a past that's a lot wetter, and maybe a bit wilder, than we ever imagined. Moving forward, the idea that Mars may have hidden traces of life becomes clearer. leading us to uncover what Perseverance has found in the rocks and soil. Hunting for fossils in Martian rocks, the most exciting thing for scientists is that Perseverance might actually find tiny fossils of microbes. Yeah, fossils. It's pretty wild when you think about it. This planet today is cold, dry, and frankly miserable for life, but billions of years ago, it could have been a very different story. The water, the organic molecules, the lake sediments, it all adds up to this idea that there might have once been teeny tiny creatures. If that's true, they're probably long dead by now, leaving only fossilized remains, which is what Perseverance is looking for. And for that, Perseverance has some pretty fancy tools. One of them, called Sherlock, uses laser technology, because why not? To hunt down complex organic compounds in rocks. Imagine a tiny CSI scene, lasers and all. Sherlock uses ultraviolet light to spot even tiny changes in the rock chemistry, searching for signs of fossils. The initial results are promising, but of course, scientists are still knee-deep in analysis. It's a lot of guesswork at this stage, but all the pieces of the puzzle seem to be pointing in the right direction. But here's the burning question. If this place had all this potential for life, what the heck happened to it? It wasn't always this frozen wasteland. Mars lost its atmosphere over time. Unlike Earth, it doesn't have a magnetic field anymore. Without that, its atmosphere was stripped away by solar winds. Basically, charged particles from the sun blasted it apart. Without an atmosphere, water here either froze or evaporated. The planet became a frigid desert where temperatures plummeted, making it impossible for any form of life to hang around. Perseverance is giving us more pieces of this story by analyzing the ancient rocks. These rocks, weathered over billions of years, hold clues about how the environment went from watery to wasteland. By examining their chemistry, scientists are learning how the climate changed and what drove it. The ultimate goal is to piece together the how and why behind the transformation and, maybe, just maybe, understand how our blue planet avoided a similar fate. These discoveries by Perseverance are monumental for another reason. If there was life here, even just a tiny hint, it means life might not be so special. The red planet is our cosmic next-door neighbor, and if it had microbes, why not other planets? The universe suddenly looks a lot less lonely and a lot more populated. That means Europa, one of Jupiter's moons, or Enceladus, one of Saturn's moons, could also have life under their icy shells. Suddenly, the search for extraterrestrial life seems a lot more promising, a lot less of a crazy dream. But let's not get too far ahead. We don't have aliens yet. Perseverance's discoveries are exciting, but we're far from having definitive proof. To really settle the question, we need samples back here on Earth, where scientists can do all kinds of tests that no rover could. Perseverance has been collecting rocks, sealing them in tubes, and leaving them on the surface for a future mission to bring back home. If we get our hands on those samples, it could change everything. We could finally confirm if this world was once alive. The public, naturally, is all fired up about this. The minute Perseverance started sending photos back, people were hooked. The desolate beauty of this place is strangely captivating. Now add in the possibility that we might not be alone, that there were tiny critters billions of years ago, and the excitement goes through the roof. It's not just scientists geeking out over this. The whole world is paying attention. Kids are talking about being astronauts again, and social media is buzzing with every new update. But it's not just about the past. If Mars had life before, maybe it could again. With space agencies talking about putting humans on Mars, knowing its history could be vital. The idea of humans settling on Mars has gone from sci-fi to maybe possible. Imagine what it would be like. An entirely new world to live on. If we know what happened to Mars's water and atmosphere, it might help us figure out how to protect our own fragile Earth. Digging deeper, Mars offers signs of its ancient past, showing us how much more there is to learn about the changes it has gone through over time. A planet's rise and fall. One more thing. If Mars had life, that means life is rare and precious. It's a reminder that we need to protect what we have here on Earth. Knowing that life might have existed somewhere else only to be wiped out should make us appreciate how lucky we are. The red planet's past is like a cautionary tale for us Earthlings. Don't take things for granted. Or you might just end up a barren, dusty rock floating in space. Think about it. The Mars rover's findings aren't just for science nerds. They're for everyone. It's about humanity inching closer to answering that age-old question. Are we alone? It's also about getting a dose of humility. We might think we're hot stuff, but the universe is big, and our understanding of it is tiny. Every time Perseverance sends back some new data, it's another piece of the puzzle, another step toward possibly redefining everything we know about life. Mars might be hiding some big things that could change how we see our own existence. This rover mission is just one chapter in a much bigger saga, one that's going to take years, maybe decades, to fully unfold. It's a reminder that our story isn't over yet, not by a long shot. In fact, it's only just beginning. With each discovery, we're peeling back the layers of Mars, and maybe, just maybe, we'll find something that'll blow our minds. In the end, the rover's findings leave us asking ourselves one big question. If Mars once had life, then what about all those other worlds we've yet to explore? What might we find if we keep looking beyond our horizon? It's this sense of exploration that drives us forward, an insatiable curiosity about the universe and our place within it. And as we look up at that red in the sky, we can't help but wonder, just how close are we to discovering that we're not alone? It's a story still in the making, and there's a lot more Mars has to reveal. We're ready to listen. It's just a matter of time. Mars is a dusty desert now, but there are signs it once flowed with rivers and lakes. Millions of years ago, the Martian landscape was likely a world of water and warmth. Perseverance's mission, equipped with the most advanced tools humans could come up with, is our latest attempt to find evidence of those ancient times. The fact that we are looking at signs of something long gone, organic molecules hidden in sedimentary rocks, is mind-boggling. There is a genuine chance that tiny life forms once swam or floated in Martian waters, thriving in the very lake beds we are now poking through. The complexity of the organic molecules is a good hint. These aren't just simple atoms floating around. They're more intricate, complex enough to give scientists hope that they might be linked to something biological. Of course, the trick is that nature can be sneaky. It can create organic compounds even in lifeless places. There's a very slim line between chemistry that suggests biological origins and chemistry that's just chemistry. That's why everyone is taking this step by step. For every exciting discovery, there's also a lot of caution. It's why Perseverance's job is less about shouting, "We've got aliens," and more about steadily gathering a mountain of clues that all point in the same direction. And that's not all. You have to remember that Jezero Crater was chosen specifically for its past. Scientists wanted to land somewhere they believed would be rich in evidence, somewhere that really could have once been a livable Martian paradise. Imagine standing in Jezero Crater billions of years ago. There would have been water rushing through the river delta, pooling into the lake, carrying silt and nutrients that could have supported all kinds of microbial life. This wasn't just any old puddle. It was a dynamic ecosystem that's known on Earth to be teeming with microscopic life. Perseverance isn't just drilling and zapping rocks for fun. It's specifically focusing on areas that geologists believe would have been perfect for trapping and preserving signs of life. If there were tiny creatures living here, the idea is that their remains might have gotten trapped in the sediment, preserved for billions of years. These fossils, if they exist, would be microscopic, but their discovery would be groundbreaking. The first clues are pointing in that direction. These organic molecules Perseverance found could very well be the remnants of something once alive. Through the search for signs of life, Mars starts to become more than a science mission, offering a look at what could happen to other worlds like our own. Bringing Mars's past back to Earth is fascinating because it's not just about finding evidence that life existed. It's also about understanding the environment itself. What was Mars like in those early days? Perseverance's instruments are not only identifying organic compounds, but also helping to understand the geochemical environment, things like temperature, minerals, and exposure to radiation. Understanding these environmental factors is crucial because they help scientists determine if the conditions were truly right for life. The Perseverance mission is not just another space mission. It's part of a bigger effort to bring Martian samples back to Earth. This task is huge because analyzing these samples on Earth will provide much deeper insight into what exactly we're dealing with. All the tools on Perseverance are impressive, but there are limits to what a rover can do on another planet. Laboratories on Earth are equipped with incredibly sophisticated technology, far more advanced than anything a rover could carry, which can be used to analyze Martian rocks at a level that's simply impossible on Mars. Scientists are optimistic that these samples could contain fossilized microbes, which would be definitive proof of past life. It's the hope of finding life on another planet that continues to drive these missions. Imagine if we confirm that Mars did, in fact, have life at one point. What would that mean for us? For one, it would mean that life is not unique to Earth. It would mean that, given the right conditions, life could spark almost anywhere in the universe. Mars is the closest place for us to test this theory. If we find life, even simple microbial life, it means the universe is probably teeming with life, waiting to be discovered. Looking further into the future, humans could set foot on Mars. If Mars was once habitable, there might still be ways to make it livable again. The data that Perseverance is collecting is going to be crucial for future human exploration. If we understand how Mars lost its water and atmosphere, it might help us develop technologies to adapt to the Martian environment or even reverse some of these changes. The possibility of humans living on Mars, even in small numbers, is becoming more and more plausible. Mars is like a beacon in the sky, beckoning us with tales of what once was and what could be. This distant red world teases us with clues that it might have once brimmed with water, had a thicker atmosphere, and maybe even hosted life forms. These hints fill us with excitement about the vast unknowns waiting for us out there. They fuel our dreams of stretching humanity's presence far beyond Earth, showing us the cosmic potential of human exploration and settlement. But Mars also stands as a stark reminder, a kind of space-bound scarecrow, warning us about the fragility of planetary environments. It tells a chilling story of a world that might have been a lot like ours but has since turned into a cold, barren desert. This dramatic shift whispers a warning to us all. Take care of Earth, our home, because even the most Earth-like planets can deteriorate into lifeless spheres if not protected. The Perseverance Rover, trundling across Mars' rugged terrain, is more than a robot. It's our scout into a deep past. With every bit of soil it analyzes and every rock it photographs, Perseverance pieces together a long-lost chapter of our solar system's history. It searches for signs of ancient water and life, gathering fragments of Martian history that could reveal how a once vibrant planet became a barren land. As we receive these pieces of data from millions of miles away, they do more than deepen our understanding of Mars. They also stoke the embers of a timeless question. Are we truly alone in this vast universe? The quest for this answer drives our space explorers to push further and look deeper into the cosmos. Mars, with all its questions unfolding bit by bit, holds not just answers about its past, but also hints at our future in space. With continued exploration, fueled by our curiosity and fortified by our determination, we stand on the cusp of potentially groundbreaking discoveries. Could this discovery on Mars mean we're not alone? Or is it just a coincidence? Tell us what you think, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more.